Hello, everyone. On behalf of Monogram, thank you so much for joining us today as we talk about how convenience translates to the ultimate luxury. We're so thrilled to have Jean Stouffer and her son Dan Stouffer here with us today for a unique conversation around other destinations for appliances in and around the home and how these conveniences translate into a luxurious lifestyle. Jean and Dan, thank you so much for joining us virtually today. Well, before we jump into our live discussion, I had the opportunity to chat with Jean last week about her recent Madison project, her own personal home. This is such a great introduction into our conversation today about how thoughtful locations for appliances around the home. So we are going to play a bit of the conversation right now for you. So Jean, thank you for joining us. And can you tell us a little bit about your business? You have this beautiful little boutique in Grand Rapids, Michigan called Stouffer Home. And can you tell us a little bit about that?
Grace, my daughter Grace and I had this idea to start a home decor shop in Grand Rapids after we'd been working on our interior design projects and realized that there needed to be someplace in Grand Rapids where people could go to find great home decor that was kind of the style that we have become known for and what people seem to really love. And so in December of 2018, we opened our doors to Stouffer Home.
That's great. So with that being said, can you talk to us a little bit about this Madison project that you've been spending some time on now?
It's kind of a pinnacle project for me. It was supposed to be a spec project. I bought it together with a contractor who I just finished a really nice project on. And we thought, hey, we did such a fun project together. Let's do another one. And I found this huge house that could be so beautiful, probably was really beautiful at one point, but at 121 years old, it needed everything. Wow. And I knew I couldn't do it alone. So I asked Corey if he would buy it with me. And so it was supposed to be a flip project, which,
right.
Almost 3 years later and a lot more money than we thought it was going to require. You'd think I know these things by now, but
right.
But at a point we realized it had become too big and it would require too much money for someone to purchase it in this neighborhood. So I just thought it was so beautiful. It was close to being done. I could imagine our family using it well. And so my husband and I decided to buy Corey's portion out, and we moved in the fall and are loving it.
I love that. That's super exciting. So was there anything that changed about the design once you decided and realized that like this is now going to be our home? What were some of those personal things that you added to it?
So it was more personal things. It was more like the very last finished details because I'd had light fixtures in the house for 2 years ready to install. I had tile here for that long. The cabinetry had been on order for ever, and appliances were selected and all the mechanicals were put in for those particular appliances. So I would say actually the only thing that did change is during the course of the construction that it took so long, Monogram came out with a whole new line where the mechanicals were the same as the original line. So this whole statement collection I used at the Madison, even though it was brand new. I barely got the first ones off the line. But I'm thrilled because all the openings fit and all the mechanicals worked.
And I've seen pictures of it. It's absolutely stunning. And I cannot wait to see it in person one day soon, hopefully. You said it's an older historic home, but it's fairly large. So talk to us a little bit about some of your favorite spaces within the home there.
Yes, well, I'd obviously love to start with the kitchen. I mean, it's my favorite part in the home. It's my favorite room to design. I think the thing that is so exciting for me about this particular kitchen design is that it takes advantage of the symmetry of the original architecture of the home. we changed where the stairs were in the house to accommodate this so that when you walk in the front door, you get this picture through to the back of the island, all the way through to the window that looks out to the yard. And this perfect symmetry is just realized, and I love it. And it works well for function too. So I have a kitchen sink right under that main window and the refrigerator on the far left, which is unusual, but that's where our breakfast room is. So that's where I wanted the refrigerator closest to. And then the column freezer all the way on the right end. And the one thing that I also love that made this whole look just possible is that we used an induction cooktop in the center of the island with a downdraft vent. I can have these gorgeous lights overhead with no ventilation showing. It's important to do the induction because on an island, I didn't want like flames, and I didn't want, the things that come along with flames. Like you have to have much more exhaust capabilities. Yeah. So it just was the perfect combination of things and that flush experience on the island top. And I love the kitchen. And then it's open to the breakfast room where our coffee bar is.
And have you incorporated appliances into any other spaces within the home?
We built a really cool bar in the basement. It's all black and stainless. It's got the fridge where we keep all the beverages and things, a dishwasher, and an Advantium so we can do like pizzas and stuff when we're watching a game down there. It's cool looking and it really functions well. We put a beverage fridge in our master suite.
I love that.
Okay, I've never experienced that before. We've done it for some clients. But let me tell you, Alex, once you experience it, you're going to want it.
Can't go back down.
It's the best thing. So it's like, I might be able to go up at the end of the day earlier and grab a drink and relax and get something first thing in the morning. And I love it. So I'm going to recommend it a lot now for people. And then up on our third floor, we set that up for our Jean Stouffer Design offices. And so we have a kitchenette up there, and I've got a refrigerator and a microwave, and just to make it easier. And that's also some of where our guest rooms are. So it's a nice spot for them to be able to also grab a water. Maybe they have a snack up there for their kids. So it's kind of nice because it's kind of far away from the kitchen.
Yeah, absolutely. I just love how much you've incorporated appliances into your entire space. And it just sounds like they've added just such a convenience to your home in general. And so just some unique places that you maybe wouldn't think of having appliances. So when you are working with your clients, how do you help decide what is the best appliance for them, or what is the best possible way to ensure that you're giving them the best design with their appliances?
I always go through a big questionnaire with my clients to find out really what their aspirations are or what they've gotten used to that they need. And a lot of that I ask a lot of questions that have to do with appliance performance and use, and also storage capabilities and where they do what. And often I realize that I need to accommodate appliances in more than just the kitchen. And often there's a big entertainment area in the basement, and it makes sense to have a spot to put drinks and frozen pizzas or popcorn or whatever in the basement. And more people are also building out, auxiliary either home office or guest spaces that can be a home office or both. And it's so nice to be able to stay in those spaces. Like if it's an office, stay focused, act like you're at work all day, but, have your lunch up there or grab a drink. And so I'm now putting refrigerators and things like microwaves or speed cook ovens in auxiliary areas like guest suite or office suite in the home.
And especially as we are working from home right now, people are probably thinking of those spaces more now than they ever have before. And so do you think, I think that leads us into the next question. Do you think the definition of convenience has changed now due to COVID-19?
So much of our life used to be out, traveling, meeting with people. And now, thankfully, we figured out new ways to meet with people online. But so much more of it is in our homes, in our own personal spaces. And so I think outfitting those to have all of the needs that we would ordinarily feel okay about running here, running there to is really important. And I think there's the other factor is we're spending so much more time in our homes that we want comfort. We want convenience if we can. And I see a lot of people spending what was their travel dollars into making their home more convenient and more comfortable for them. I know a lot of companies have realized that their people do really well at home. So even post-COVID, I think this is going to be a big thing.
Overall, how do you think this will change kitchen design as we move forward?
I mean, people are cooking more at home, times 5 than they have in years. And so I think people are really going to care about their equipment now. Like, does this cooktop perform the way I need it to now that I've learned how to cook?
Has there been any surprises where you recommended something and they weren't sure about it, but just surprised them in a really delightful way?
Well, one thing that really comes to mind is the kitchen I designed for Joe and Scott Saltz that was shown in House Beautiful magazine because Joe's the editor of House Beautiful. And I learned what their cooking and their prep kind of routines were, and it made a lot of sense for me to put the freezer column in a completely different area of the kitchen than the refrigerator column. And that's a really unusual thing. If you've always had fridge freezer one unit, to have them be in like one end and the other seems like it took them a while to get their head around that. And I'm so thankful they did, because they say it's the single most convenient thing that goes on in their kitchen, is that it's exactly where they need it. So there's, kitchen, like if there's more than one person cooking in a kitchen, you're kind of sometimes crossing over. Or if you're doing 2 different types of tasks and need 2 different types of things for it, it really makes sense to think through that. And so that's a perfect example of that.
I love that, and especially because, again, to your point, if you're used to having that side-by-side unit and now they're completely separate, it's like, dude, how do I function with my refrigerator being on the right side and my freezer being on the left side of my kitchen, But to your point, like when you're prepping and stuff and that unit is right there, when you turn around, it's really nice. You don't have to move across the kitchen for it. Well, Jean, thank you again so much for your time today. It's always so great to see you and hear your insights and hear what's going on in the kitchen industry. So thank you so much.
Well, thanks for having me, Alex. I really enjoyed it. And I can't wait to show you our next project, the Bradbury Cafe.
I can't wait to see it coming up here very soon.
Yeah, see you on there soon. Really, it's going to be great.
Well, hello, Jean and Dan. It's so good to see you guys live today. How are you doing?
Hey, Alex, we're great.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I can't believe it was already last week from when we last spoke. So I know we're in a new location today, and so we would love to hear about your most recent project. So can you both share a little bit about the story behind the Bradbury Cafe and how the name came about?
Yeah, I think I'm going to let Dan take the lead on this because it all started with the coffee machine.
Yeah, the coffee machine is from a cafe in Chicago that actually they closed their doors recently, and so I thought about it as a way to make a quick buck on Facebook Marketplace by buying it, fixing it up, and selling it it ended up sitting on a workbench for a couple months, so I didn't quite get around to fixing it up. And we actually have a very special set of doors here.
Yeah, let me tell that part.
Well, we'll hear about it soon, but the cafe had always been something I was interested in, and having the machine and redoing it really helped us along in the process.
Yeah, so Dan, it was kind of a quarantine purchase. I think we all have one of those maybe. And his was this wanting to do this project, and the longer he held on to it and the more coffees that were made in it, the more we were like, wait a minute, we can't just sell that.
No.
We need to use that, and we need to have coffee from that. And furthermore, the shop is Stouffer Home here in Grand Rapids could be such an amazing place to open up a little coffee shop within our store. And then one fateful day, I came across through an email that was sent to me from one of our French importers that we buy some things with for our clients, this set of amazing antique doors out of a Paris apartment. And I'll show them to you.
I was going to say, you have to show us. You can't say that and not show.
Yeah, there they are.
Oh my gosh, gorgeous.
Original beveled glass. And
beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful. And it solved our issue of wanting to make the cafe a separate space within a space. And because you walk through those doors and it's the Stouffer home decor store. And so that email came across my desk right when we were really thinking we really should do something. And then the design happened, and
just a bit of serendipity.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that story. And so how did you actually come up with the Bradbury? Where does that come from?
The name?
Yeah.
Well, we were sitting around the table thinking of names.
I had come up with a few names that were uniformly denied. And then my mom's grandfather's name was Charles Bradbury. And so it's a family name, and he was an avant-garde guy who involved and surrounded my mom with design.
Yep. Different type of design, not really interior design. He was an art collector and loved fashion. But it just seemed very apropos to name it. And the name just sounds good, don't you think?
It has a perfect ring to it.
Yeah, the Bradbury. So I wrote out the Bradbury in cursive, and then a page from our shop here turned it into a digital document, and then projected it up on the screen, and then painted it in gold paint up there, and now it's our logo on everything.
I love that. I love the inspiration behind it, and that your grandfather's with you every day. That's pretty cool. I love that personal touch. Very cool. Yeah. So, Dan, what is your role in this space, and what do what is it used by for your clients and your customers?
Yeah, so my role is I wear many hats over here. I came up with the operation. So we have a shop manager now who's running the shop on a day-to-day basis, but everything from where we source our coffee to our cups, how it should be served, the type of glassware we use, everything has been started from scratch. And so it was a lot of work getting up and running, but I'm moving more into an oversight / marketing role right now for the cafe.
Yeah, his latest idea is to use the cafe in off hours as an intimate venue, which I think would be so cool. Like
that could be really great.
Yeah,
to host some really intimate small dinners and create a really cool experience there. I love that. Have the accessories from Stouffer Home on the table and stuff for the decor.
Exactly. You can all be part of the package for sure.
I love it. That sounds great. So let me ask this. I have to, of course, ask something about appliances, right? So in the coffee shop, what appliances have you guys, installed there?
Well, we have a dishwasher in the back, a Monogram dishwasher that is, it works for us really well because it reaches that sanitation mode that's required by the health department. So even though it's residential, it actually fits in the requirements of the health department's codes. And then up front, and I want to show it from this perspective, if you're sitting at a cafe table here, we have the Statement Collection refrigerator drawers with the brass detailing. So if you're sitting up at one of the bistro tables up front, you can see that, and it's really efficient and effective for Dan too as he makes his coffees to have it right there. In fact, I think he's going to make one for us right now.
We got to put these refrigerators.
I mean,
yes, we do.
You can't be at a coffee shop and not see a crafted coffee from you.
Absolutely.
So, and I would love for you guys to tell me a little bit, when we talked earlier, we had talked about, this space and you didn't really want it to be a space where people come and sit down and get connected, because you wanted there to be this personal connection. And so talk a little bit about that, because I loved that story, especially in the time we're in today. We're so connected on our phones, the connection of just interacting with each other.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll do that. And then, Dan, you tell me when you're ready to do the milk, because I'll show them.
Perfect.
Your beautiful thing. Well, here's the thing. We put in 3 really pretty bistro tables here in the front window, and we did not put any outlets or any, and we don't offer Wi-Fi. And the reason for that is that we just really want this to be a place where people come and meet each other and talk. Maybe they'll have a meeting, but more just like connect socially instead of post up with their computer all day. We just thought it would be, I feel like we crave this now. And now that we're coming out of things, I feel like there's a major need for that. And we wanted to be instrumental in making that happen. And so we're just thrilled with that. It's intimate, it's pretty. Oh, okay, we're ready to roll here.
Little segue while the pressure's on.
The
here.
milk is ready. So here we go. Can you see it okay?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, wow. And then here it comes together.
Uh-huh.
Look at that beautiful design.
Yeah, look at that.
That's for the people at home watching right there.
Yeah, it's time.
That is so cool. I love that. I love that.
Of course.
So we do have a quick couple of questions that are coming in the chat that I would love to ask you guys. And so the first one that is being asked is, what was your favorite part of the Bradbury design process?
I would say just putting it all together, bringing the color in here, this really deep greenish black, and then make it, I think just generally speaking, we had this idea of wanting it to feel like a European cafe or a New York City cafe where it's tight quarters and intimate, and where it just feels, I don't know, very unique and intimate and cozy. So like the velvet on I'll just show you in case you missed it, the velvet cushions and the marble tables, and just this feeling of like maybe it's been here a long time. But and the other thing I almost forgot is we used an old communion table from Chicago for our counter.
That's beautiful.
And I just think all of this combined just makes for this intimate experience, and that's kind of what the design was focused on, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Having that style of it's a European cafe and the finishes are super nice, but could it be from 50 years ago or 75 years ago, or it could be from today? And
yeah, right. There's some worn finishes, but not fake worn. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of details that went into place to bring this together. I can definitely see that. So another question that came in, is there something you like to save for the last step before a design is complete?
I think little details.
More
I
like
think,
accessories, maybe.
you know, after you have the general skeleton complete with whatever you're designing, the little finishes, the glassware or the paper cups. This is
Or the
speaking
pillows.
from a cafe. Just the little design details that you can throw in that are not a part of the structure of what you're designing.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's a great answer. Okay, we're getting a couple more questions still. So would you share the green paint color?
I will, but don't
Okay,
tell anyone else.
Don't tell anyone. Okay. Okay, and then the next question is when
I
choosing.
will.
Oh, you're gonna share it right now. Okay, yeah, please do.
It's a Benjamin Moore historic color, and it's
Okay.
called green black. Or is it
Black forest green.
Black forest green. Sorry about that.
It's a pearl finish.
Black Forest Green. Okay,
Mhm.
by Benjamin Moore.
Right. The historic.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay. The next question, when choosing finishes for a kitchen, is there anything you would avoid that could potentially date a space, particularly countertop choices?
Well, I'm very into natural materials, even for
Okay.
countertops. So I think if you stay natural, whether it's wood or a natural stone, it's probably less likely to be dated. And just stay calm in the colors. Just calm down. Yeah.
So maybe some warm neutrals, a little less color.
Yeah. I think
Okay.
neutrals are very good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, the next question. Can I ask, Jean, did you start your interior design journey before your children came along or after?
I started before, and I held it at a very low level the whole time I was raising them. And then after Dan went to college, I started feeling like, okay, I can work full time now. So
Yeah.
before, yeah. But
Okay. Great. Okay. One more question, actually two more questions. One from the chat, and then we have to ask you one question before we go. And then we're already at time. It went so fast. So do you find that people are asking for pantries off kitchens? And what appliances do you see people putting in pantries?
People are asking for pantries. They're calling it all kinds of things. Pantries, sculleries, back kitchens, all the time. Because of an open concept kitchen. And often people want maybe more refrigeration there, another sink, wine fridge, sometimes a dishwasher.
Got it. Yeah, just hiding some of that stuff. Okay. And there are some more. Oh, yeah, true. And there are some more questions coming in, but we will make sure we field them to you and then respond to everyone afterward. So the last question we have for the session, though, is we always want to know what's next because you're always on to the next project. So what's next for the Bradbury Cafe or the Madison or anything else that you guys have going on?
Well, we might have actually
with the private events, that was like the most recent fun news we have. I'm sure there's more fun news that will be coming soon as well, but we have yet to figure out what that will be.
Yeah, we have so many cool projects already in the pipeline that we're doing, custom projects, and our Stouffer Home Cabinetry line is really taking off, and we're designing super cool kitchens across the country, sending them to more and more places, and it's amazing and exciting, and I can't even believe it's happening.
So a super exciting time. Well, we'll patiently wait. Then I'm sure we'll see something on Instagram.
Yes.
So, well, of course, today, thank you, Jean and Dan, so much for your time. And we really enjoyed chatting with you and sharing the new Bradbury Cafe with your audience and our audience. And so, if anyone has any additional questions, please reach out to us via direct message on Instagram, whether that's Jean or Monogram. We would love to chat more with you. And then really quickly, the rest of this week, we do have another live event lined up with Luann Nagara tomorrow. So if you're interested in learning more about that, please go to our monogramvip.com /tours website to check it out because we would love to see you guys there for that event as well. So Jean and Dan, thank you so much for your time. As always, we love spending time with you guys.
Well, thanks for having us.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.